Whether you're new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect for you.
Welcome back, everyone, to an afternoon episode of Dogging It. I'm Molina Mike, and of course, right on cue, my daughter walks in the room because I guess she heard I was going live. So, thanks everybody for stopping by. Hope you guys can hear me and see me okay. We got a good show in store, and someone I've always appreciated talking to, and since I first started being a fan of pool and watching pool, someone I've always admired and respected, and it's been great to kind of get to know him over the last couple of years. And so we're just gonna catch up with the legend. I think he's out in Costa Rica. You guys obviously heard the news over the last week, and so we're just bringing on Mika, and kudos to him for coming on and being having the courage to come on and just be willing to. So I love you. Let me go ahead and bring him on in. Mika Immonen. Mika, how are you?
Good. Considering everything that's happening, it's every day just trying to put one foot in front of the other. But I feel better now than I felt yesterday. To be honest.
Yeah, progress. It's always good.
My first week of chemo was. It's like you don't know what to expect, and I was struggling with it, and of course, there's like side effects.
Yeah.
There's fatigue. There's all kinds of things, that going through it, and you don't know what the next day brings. But I'm over that now, and I'm just trying to up my calorie intake, honestly, because I lost a lot of weight. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, you're looking a little slim, but you were always in shape, Meek, and I think that's part of why the news kind of took a lot of people by surprise, because you're always one of the few players that seem to take your health quite seriously, and you always look fit. And I don't know what your workout schedule
Yeah.
is like, but you always look like you stayed on top of it.
Yeah, it is shocking, and I don't know what contributed to me, catching this thing, but I feel like it could be just the genetics, and it could be just random. Maybe a lot of flying, a lot of that could puts a lot of stress on the body, and just all this flying around the world, and maybe some other stress factors, but who knows? We're we're here to solve the problem and looking,
Attaboy.
going forward from here. And I've had a lot of people ask me the same question, like, how come, But like, it's just it doesn't help mulling over,
No,
how
no,
it
he doesn't.
happened. We're just gonna like see what we do now, and I'm doing I'm doing all the right moves, and I'm listening to the doctors, and I'm putting extra effort in on the holistic side of like you said, I take care of myself, but now I got to
Yeah.
take care of myself
Your soul, your mind,
extra.
it's so your energy is so important in keeping your spirits up. And
Yeah,
one of the things I took away from watching online when the news came out was just the outpour of encouragement and enthusiasm. What was that like, seeing not just your fans but your peers, your friends, and just seeing all the love come in from all over the world for you, Mika?
yeah, Mike, it was very touching and very heartwarming, and it's been helpful, actually. Like, it's really um, overwhelming in a good sense, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and that are like currently going through some same things, and then they're praying for me, and I'm like, hey, listen, like, let's all stick together and fight this thing. And also people that are like in remission. I
Right.
can't tell you how many messages I've got, and it kind of, now I have a little different perspective of how I look at these things, and I definitely have a lot more. Not that I didn't have respect, but now I have like a platform of like um, where I could really like reel it in and say like, you know, anybody who goes through these things, they're all like heroes to me. They're just, man, somebody who's gone through cancer before, or like maybe even twice. I really, at this point, I don't even know how they did it. So it's still a mystery to me because I'm kind of a rookie here, but I
Right.
really appreciate all the outpour of love from my peers, friends, and I'm just taking it day by day, and it's really I'm here. I'm
We're
still
we're
in
glad
it
you're
to win
here. We're,
it.
we're, we're glad you're here, buddy. We're glad you're here with us, and we're glad you're got the courage to come out and speak about it. You know, you've kind of been larger than life in so many aspects, Mika. You've been player of the decade. You've won countless titles. You've been, such a pillar of the sport for so long, and then you've kind of been superhuman. It seems like, and this kind of this news just is humbling in some aspects, just as far as like how fragile life can be, because there's no way to tell. And I've seen you followed your career, and you're all over the place. You're still competing, and that's the crazy part. When I heard the news, is that throughout all this, unknowingly, you were still traveling the world and playing pretty high level pool, during that
Yeah,
time.
I was going through some stuff, and I had some symptoms that were a little bit like I was going through something, and I went to a few different doctors. I did some like uh, you know um, just like went to the ER a couple of times. I kept like getting the some misdiagnoses, and they never really like went. Um, they didn't go thorough enough in their.
Over what was the course of time during this, Mika? How long was this? Were these like spells happening?
I mean, it's been a few months, and I just get like
Yeah,
I got like some misdiagnoses, and I was doing some treatments to myself that were just not leading anywhere. It was just like
yeah,
you know kind of like just put a band-aid on it, and
right.
it wasn't helping. And then finally, like, well, I was in Puerto Rico for the Puerto Rico Open, the Predator Championships, and I felt some like really bad pain in both my like pelvic side and my back,
Yeah,
and it was obviously it was the cancer already, but I didn't know. And then
right,
went to the ER, and they said that just you're just constipated. You have like hemorrhoids, and here's like little antibiotics. Uh, you do this, put some ointment there, this and that. Like, but it's just all wrong. I mean,
right.
maybe it
But
was
did
like
you know, or you're just like you're taking this advice and you're like, it don't feel
uh,
right,
it,
and
I don't know. I was just trying to like just go day by day, and then it did feel a little bit wrong. Like just looking back, and I was I went back to New York after Puerto Rico, and I was just and I was struggling, and I was super close to canceling Japan, but then I went to another doctor in New Jersey, actually, because my insurance was like New Jersey based, and again it's just a kind of dead end. There was some glitch in my insurance, and even though they when I called and it was active, and then from the clinic side they said it was inactive. So I just got frustrated with what was happening.
I can imagine.
Me going to doctors and this and that. I was like, you know what, I'm going to Japan. Screw it. And I mean, in hindsight, it could have been a blessing and a curse, but I I, I went there, and then it's like a 25-hour trip, and I
Yeah.
didn't sleep at all because I was like I had like almost like this
Was it
sciatic
was
and
it
pelvic
nerves,
pain.
or was it the pain?
It was the pain.
Yeah.
And then when I was just like just bracing myself. I was thinking like, as soon as I get to the hotel, I'm gonna take a bath. Maybe take some Tylenol Advil or something, and just like try to get some rest before I had to play in like a day and a half, and none of it. Even when I arrived, I still didn't sleep. So like I was awake for like 50 hours,
It's
and then
brutal,
I had to
man.
go play a match.
Yeah.
And I lost my first match, and I was just like I probably looked like a complete zombie.
Zombie. That's what I was gonna say. But
And then,
how important
uh,
was having that normalcy, like going through all this? Because you're pool playing is life, man. Traveling is life.
I know I just nothing felt normal. The
Yeah.
the last few weeks before I finally got the diagnosis and the prognosis and everything. But let me explain. So after that first match in Japan, Naoki Oi was like, "This is too much, bro. Like I'm taking you to the ER." And he had a doctor friend that he had spoken to, and that guy recommended like, let's just go to the local ER and see what they're gonna take care of him. And I gotta say the care that I was receiving in Japan was like way more humane than what I got like in the States. It's just like they didn't need to see my credit card, or like they didn't have to check if I can pay the bill. They took me in
They
and
want to take care of you.
they took my blood work, they took a pelvic ultrasound, they took a CAT scan. Everything happened in 4 hours, and I was discharged. But they said they noticed they're gonna send the CAT scan results to an expert, and they noticed some like abnormal activity there, and but I mean it was just a relief to know that we're actually going somewhere with this. We're going in the right
Yeah.
direction, while internally I'm still going in the wrong direction. I still have a ship inside me that's sailing in the wrong direction. I need that ship turned around pretty soon,
Right.
because it was aggressive, and I was uh, I was getting hit pretty hard. So after
Was what
that,
was there any like hint during that when they send the CAT scan off that we think it might be this?
in a yeah, well, in a couple of days after that, Nayuki had received a call from the doctor, and they said that you need to either come back here, or you just need to go somewhere to uh, get it looked after, like to get a biopsy, because they saw something that's like both on my it's a gastrointestinal issue, and it's like hitting it's it's catching possibly wrecking a lot of havoc.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I'm still in the tournament. I'm in the loser bracket, and then I start grinding, and I
You're
hit
still
this like
playing pool during.
I'm still I
Unbelievable,
was
man.
I won my next three matches, and I qualified through the loser bracket into the final 64, and in the final 64 first round, I play Wu Kun Lin, who's like a
Monster.
formidable
Yeah.
monster, and then I lost to him a couple times before, and this time I think I was down 6-3, and I beat him 11-7. I came like just out of nowhere. I just hit this gear, and I have to honestly say I was playing with just pure heart and pure finesse, because I didn't have any power, and just on a positive note, that what I'm going to take going forward from here. um, I wasn't rushing anything because I couldn't
Yeah.
rush any decisions because I didn't have any power. I was
Yeah.
just like
Which is like what
I
what
was just
Mika Immonen is known for as a pool
I was
player.
embracing every shot. Like, this is
Yeah.
just this is like an opportunity to do something, and I couldn't rush any decisions, and it kind of helped my game, because sometimes I just try to go maybe a little bit too much with the flow, and I I I, I can't hold the reins of the
Yeah.
horses. The horses just want to just go too
That's part of
fast.
why we love watching you play. It's that rhythm. The pace in which you play. You don't waste any
Yeah,
time, and you put the balls in
yeah,
the hole.
I get the job done.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in Japan, I hit a different kind of flow state, because there was so much that I was dealing with internally, and I honestly I think I was at like 35% of my ability, like physically, but
Crazy.
my mental power was still there, and it carried me through this match. And then I played Masato Yoshioka the next match, and I beat him as well. And then I was in the
It's
final
unreal, man. It's unreal.
quarterfinals, and I lost to Yap. He played very good, and I was finally I was just completely out of steam, and just just ready to go to my next destination was Puerto Rico. It was part of my itinerary,
But
and
how were you not letting it just weigh on you, Mika?
it was, and I'll tell you a funny coincidence, because even though like maybe a normal person would have like just gone home, I had an
Yes.
idea like maybe I should just go home to Finland, and that they're gonna take care of the citizen and this and that. But I called my friend who's a doctor in Costa Rica, and he's my student, and I was like, listen, can you make some appointments for me? I contacted him, and he's like, well, you can just come see me. I'm an oncologist. I've been working this field for 30 years. So if there's anything internally, we're going to check you out, and hope for the best. But we just need to clear you, and then just come see me, and then we'll make all the appointments necessary. And
Did you
I
have
mean,
like any? Were you a little more relieved then at that point, within reason?
there was a little bit of a relief in a I guess mentally, to know that I'm going somewhere where like, okay, they're
Yeah.
ready. They're ready for
Yeah.
me. Like I've already like booked an appointment for an MRI, and we considered what do you call it, colonoscopy. And but that anyway, so I ended up going to Costa Rica, and first thing the doctor did, like when I went to the clinic, he was just like, well, first of all, he picked me up from the airport, and he took me to a hotel. Okay, just rest here. I'm going to see you tomorrow. And I went to the clinic, and then he put me straight into an IV that was a like saline hydration solution, and it was 2 liters of. I mean, it was just.
Yeah.
I was so dehydrated. I was like a sucked up rat. And he just put me. He gave me like a mild steroid shot, and he put me on an IV just to kind of like revive me. I was like, I think I
Is it
was
more
like,
just to like give you the strength to you got to get ready for with the testing and everything that's
give you
coming on?
strength to even like
Right.
carry on, because I think I was like in danger of like, I don't know what I was going through, because I was in a very like metabolic state of like just on my last, you know
Were
I
you
don't know
just like
what.
not having appetite and all that leading up to
Yeah,
during
I
all this
couldn't
time?
eat because everything was coming out, and everything was
Yeah.
just, it was violent. It was just the whole flight from Japan. Actually, I used all my prize money to upgrade myself to business class that time, and that was maybe the best decision I've ever made, because I couldn't bear a decision of like going in economy and sitting the whole time and being like waiting in line for a toilet.
Yeah.
So I used all my
Yeah.
money for the upgrade, and then I was on my way and rode to Japan, and then here we are, Costa Rica, a few weeks later. But I don't know. I keep rambling, but I could go
No, no,
on.
no. Well, but this is why. I mean, listen, it's just me and you talking here, and it takes a lot of strength to be honest about and forthcoming with everything you've been going through, and that's part of your honesty and your heart that you're showing through all this is part of why people have fall in love with you as a pool player,
Yeah,
because these are traits that have just held you throughout your career. Um,
yeah.
so you're
I'm in
getting
Costa
IVs
Rica.
and
I'm
that's where
getting
you are right
IV.
now. How long have you been there now, Mika?
Well, now it's been a couple weeks, and you know, the I don't know. I'm just wearing my jersey because I miss playing, and I want to also like give props to my sponsors and
We ain't got to worry about sponsors today,
to
Mika.
my,
We're just worried
myself and
about you, buddy.
my inspiration
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
keep playing. But the funny story is that, you know, so now I'm in Costa Rica. We've booked the appointments. Um, um, I did an MRI, and I was still, you know, I signed up for a tournament in Costa Rica, so I still played another tournament.
Of course, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
of
Hold
course.
on, I made it to round 3. Can we put this on hold for a minute?
Yeah. I mean, you know, and then I played another tournament, and I'm like using some of the same vibe that I was, you know, reeling from in Japan. But now actually, like,
Unreal.
even though there was like whatever was going inside me, I have like I didn't know I had cancer for sure, but I was pretty. It was, you know, I wasn't trying to be, you know, put a negative spell or anything, but I was like, I mean, this has to be something really bad because you know, I feel this bad. But
Yeah.
I knew the treatment was on the way, or the answers were on the way. So here I am playing another tournament. I was like, you know, I just might as well get this out of the way. And again, I mean, I made it pretty far. I made it pretty deep, and I made it to the semifinals of the tournament.
You
And I
know how
was playing.
ridiculous that is, Mika. You're beating world
Yeah,
class players at 30%. You know, like it's
I ended up losing to Earl, and he played well. But I don't know. I was going. I thought I was going to go deep, and if Earl didn't beat me that match, I would have been in the finals again, and I was defending champion. And
I think
but
Gerson ended up winning that tournament, right? He beat Earl in
Garrison
the
won.
finals, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was an exciting final. He looked like he was going to run away with it, but then Earl made a good comeback. But then they were at the end. They were just like, you know, you take it. No, you take it. You know,
Yeah.
it was it was dramatic. And Gerson, I'm happy for him. He was super happy and overwhelmed. And you know, just I was just happy to show up to my fans and to everybody who was expecting me to play, and I was
And
happy for
nobody knew a
myself.
word because nobody had any
Nobody knew
idea
yet, but
you
then
were going through anything.
I was kind of I told you know, my buddies, you know, and the tournament organizer, he knew that I was going through something. I said, you know, you may have to like modify some of the schedule because I got to do these doctors. I have some appointments that I have to make, and he was like, "Don't worry, we're gonna like, you know, we're gonna accommodate you, and of course, you know, you know, you're our guest, you're defending champion, you're our hero. So you know, we're gonna take care of you here. This is how we take care of our people here, and
I love
you
that.
know, pura vida and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then you know, I was Frankie Hernandez. He knew that I was going through something. Pee Wee and Alan Rollin. I ended up beating Alan Rollin in the quarterfinals, and um, it was a good match too. But
Alonso, great Puerto Rican player.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you know, I've gotten to know a lot of these Pan American guys. You know, during my some of the tournaments I've played recently in this past year here successfully, and in Dominican and here in Costa Rica. But and it's been a great ride and fun. But now this ride became a little different. You know,
Yeah.
so the tournament's over. I you know made it to semis and you know, done, and now I'm going to. I had to go get the biopsy done because the MRI showed like you know it's a there's a tumor. So there was a confirmation. There's a growth. There's a lesion, and it's not like it's big, but it was more long than wide. So that was a good thing actually, like from my perspective. And the yeah,
Is that what the doctors were saying as
I
well,
did a
Mika?
PET scan too, a PET, which basically shows you know all the it's a very accurate. It's like got this like nuclear nanotechnology that shows like areas of inflammation, and it puts this you know you have to like basically ingest this liquid that's gonna put color that's versus like the regular um, bloodstream or some. I don't know what they call the technology, but it's a I know the word in Finnish, varjoaine. But anyway, so on the PET, so it showed the areas of inflammation, but it didn't light up like a Christmas tree, and that was good because it meant that we had like an isolated.
That's great news.
Yeah, we had a lesion that was isolated, and it had not entered any like vital organs, and so it came back. Uh, and it's cancer. It's this adenocarcinoma, and it's stage 4. And I was like,
But it's heavy.
like,
What were you thinking when those words come out of their mouth and they're letting
yeah.
you
I
know?
mean, my oncologist, he was just so calm when he said it, and it like I was kind of like, well, I'm supposed to be calm now too, like, but it hit me pretty hard, and I was like, stage 4, like it's pretty serious, right? And it's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's serious. It's serious if we don't treat it. But good news is that this type of cancer responds well to chemo, and we're gonna do a couple more. We're gonna do some more staining of the biopsy, and they're gonna send it back to the lab, and we're gonna see if you qualify for some other treatments, such as immunotherapy, which is a very in the recent years it's been introduced and very successfully. But anyway,
What did that? What's going on then when you're hearing that? We can. It's something that's manageable that we can try to fight
yeah,
back with it.
I'm like,
What's
now,
going on
now
here and
like,
here?
I was like going from one end to the other, because at first
I can
I'm
imagine.
like, I
Yeah.
get hit like stage 4. Like, I'm like, my the ideas of like stage 4 is always like, it's critical. It's like, this is like the
Yeah.
last stage. There's no more stages.
That's what I mean. When you hear that, that's pretty overwhelming.
Yeah. So I was whoa, like, man. So I'm just like, what's next, And I know, you know, I saw, we went through, we saw Jeanette go through these things, and with her um, ovarian stage 4, and she had a number of other health issues that she was fighting with, and we were there in spirit, and just trying to like encourage her, and helping her with all the charity stuff and everything. And I was just like thinking like, okay, yeah, but she did it, she beat it, and it's beatable. I'm like, so I'm
Did you
asking the
did
doctor.
did you talk with Jeanette at all
I
after?
haven't had a chance to talk to her yet, but I will, and um, I've heard through some friends that she knows, she's heard the news, but it's a matter of time. And yeah. Um, so now I'm like, so what's next? What are we doing, Doc?
You got a
So
tournament to get to, right?
yeah, I got my next. So,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I can't. I'm like, first of all, like, oh man, I gotta cancel. Do I have to cancel Turning Stone? It's like, and I'm like, the people that are like a little bit more like now coherent at this point. They're like, listen, you ain't
Right.
playing. You
It's
ain't
not
playing in
important.
any tournaments
Yeah.
for
Right.
like the next 3-4 months.
What
There's
any
no.
reasonable person would say, Mika,
I'm like, no.
except the
What is
Iceman.
this?
Yeah.
What is?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, so yeah, I can't play Turning Stone. I'm not gonna play Derby City, and who knows what I'm gonna play, but um,
We need you to get
I'm
better.
definitely gonna play when I can,
Yeah.
during and between the next now and the next chemotherapy. So I'm gonna do. There's gonna be sessions every 2 weeks, so I have to do around.
How have you been responding to him, Mika? How's everything been going through it?
last week was such a blur because there were the day one was like, okay, this is fine. Day two is like, okay, I'm still, I had this like, I have this port on my chest. I don't know if I should show it, but
Yeah,
it's
I think we saw it in the picture whenever you posted. Oh
oh,
wow, yeah,
there
yeah,
it is.
wow,
This is like an IV port, and it's a pretty clean scar there.
yeah,
And so when I go get the IV for the chemo, the first two, first of all, they put like some pre-medication, and they put some stuff that's gonna help me uh, with the nausea, anti-nausea,
yeah,
and then they put 2 rounds of different uh, chemo medications, and it takes like 2 to 3 hours for the drip, and that happens at the clinic, and then they gave me this. They give me this unit that's a mobile unit, and the third and final chemo dose happens in like a 44-hour period, and it's this like infusion pump that's like a little machine that makes this little whirring sound every like 30 seconds, and it just slowly pumps a little bit more medicine for the. So I'm carrying this thing with me for the next couple days, and I get to go home, and I get to go to back to my Airbnb and just hang out as much as I can, uh, have like sense of normalcy. But
yeah.
now I'm just like bracing myself for the impact and what's going to happen. And day three was pretty horrendous. Just trying to just get up. I'm trying to peel myself off the bed. Like I remember just waking up at night, and because I'm taking like also like painkillers,
Yeah.
because it's just trying to manage all the pain. From now, I'm getting pain from not only the cancer that's hitting me like left and right, but also the chemo is causing like a lot of
Yeah.
damage into my body. So I'm taking I'm on this methadone, and
Are
I'm
you
on
are
this
you able to
nerve.
be like as comfortable as you can during all this, Mika? Now, like after going through it for a couple of weeks now.
Well, the first week, I mean, I thankfully my mom is here, and my girlfriend May is here, and I don't know what I would do without, because I'm pretty useless. It's like that, but like I said, like there were times that like I wake up in the middle of a night, and my mouth is like it's just a cotton mouth, and I'm struggling to like lift myself to grab the bottle to just hydrate, and the next thing you know, I gotta go to the bathroom because I gotta go pretty bad. And it's just like this thing is like rummaging in my system, and I'm just like in and out of the toilet. But like there were times where like I'm like, how do I peel myself off the bed? Like I just have like my my mental self is already off the bed, but my
Yeah.
physical self is still there. Because
Yeah.
it's like I tell myself like, hey, get up,
Yeah.
and
We,
just help myself. I'm not, I don't know. I lost a lot of weight. This is like the lightest I've been since like the late 90s. So honestly, I'm 146 pounds right now, and I'm normally 170.
well,
So
I mean, it's understandable, and I got to tell you, it takes a certain type of person to get off the bed, you know,
yeah,
and to be able to not just go through what you're going through, but then have the courage and come online and then you tell people, hey, this is what I'm going through, and you've never been that type of person. It seems like to where you're just, you know, you've always been the Iron Man, the Iceman,
yeah.
and
But I just I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and
you
this
do.
is a different kind of sleeve that we're seeing today, and it's a different heart in a sense of like I mean I'm touched with all the encouragement, and it's going to help me push forward.
We've got
And
like 300 people watching, and all we've had in the comments, we can't see him on the screen, but we can see him back there. Everything is just nothing but positivity and wishing you well and saying what an inspiration you are. And I second that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, thank you.
Darren's in the chat saying you got it, pal. And we got shit to
Yeah,
do is what he says.
we
and
got shit to do. I'm like, I'm totally here, and I gotta say today, it's been today's Wednesday, so it's been like 9 days since my first first dose of chemo. So, and my next chemo is on I think it's on the 26th. So that's Tuesday
yeah, next Tuesday.
after Christmas. So yeah, we get to like celebrate a little bit Christmas before I go, for the next one. But I did some like, I'm trying to be mindful. I'm trying to do some stretches and like yoga moves, and I try to do the best I can. I don't have any weights here, but I have this like chair that I'm
Maybe
lifting this
just maybe
chair
just
that
try just try calisthenics for now, Mika. Just try.
maybe.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I'm doing
yeah,
things that I'm, as long as it doesn't hurt, it's good. So
yeah.
I'm not doing anything that's, if I feel anything, any pain, we're not doing it. But so I can't really do like push-ups because I got this
Right,
port here, and it's like it's
right.
kind
I
of
can. Yeah.
attached to my part of my chest muscle. But
I gotta tell you, it's ridiculous what you're saying right now. Because well, I mean, you gotta understand that it's absolutely ludicrous. But that's your strength is why we admire you. And I wouldn't expect anything less from you, Mika. To be honest.
yeah, well, I'm here. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna win. And
Yeah, you are, buddy.
but it's the biggest challenge I've ever faced, and
What are
I'm
the
just very thankful for, again, I've had I had hundreds of people that were going through or have been through cancer, and I mean, I can't, I don't want to I have to answer to them,
yeah,
because I feel like I at least have to give them a thumb and a little heart. But
yeah.
it took me a little while to get through all those messages,
Listen,
because,
I'm sure they would understand. I'm sure they would
but
understand, Mika, right
I just
now.
want to say here that I don't have time to like answer like write a bunch of stuff, but I'm just thankful for all the messages that I'm getting, and if I give it a little heart, and there were times last week where I was so out of it I couldn't even speak. So like some friends of mine were calling me, I just had to block the call because I don't have the energy to talk. I'm
Where
like,
Where's your
I can
spirits at
hardly.
right now, Mika? Where's your you've gone through a whole range of emotions. Where's your mindset at right now?
I'm getting a little emotional here now.
Yeah.
But sorry.
No, you're fine. You got a lot of people who are rooting for you and who love you, man. You know,
Thank you.
we all believe in you, and we all have your back, and we're supporting you as much as we can, even if it's from a distance from all over the world. And take your time. It takes a certain type of courage to come out and speak about it, and you don't know what your words can have on other people who are going through it and maybe who are fighting this same battle, and who have looked up to you. And you'll never know, you know, how much of an inspiration you can be by the things that you do. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're doing all the right things here. I'm paying attention to my nutrition, and also got some I got some herbs through a dear friend of mine, and then it's this doctor from the West Coast, Dr. Wen from Yosan University. It's basically an acupuncture based university, and Chinese medicine. I'm getting like some really good herbs that are helping my body cope with the side effects of the chemo. So boosting my immunity, keeping things in check, and I got to do that twice a day. And I'm also like, I mean, I got my people here, May
What
and
is
my
what
mom.
what is Mama telling you?
Well, she's telling me like eat, eat, eat.
Right.
Here,
Yeah.
like they're constantly feeding me stuff, and then but I'm trying to, yeah, I'm trying to put some weight on before I get hit the next time.
Yeah.
But in general, just trying to keep a solid mind and solid body, and yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. My I saw my doctor oncologist yesterday, and we took some blood samples just to check the kidney functions, and I heard we have another biopsy result ready, so I just gotta, I gotta go pay up before I see the results, obviously. But it's been
Yeah.
yeah, there's that side. But so far,
If people wanna help you out in any kind of way financially, because there's something online that where people can um a GoFundMe or anything along those lines where we can
um,
uh,
we're,
help raise some
I,
money for everything you're going through.
yeah, I think there's gonna be a GoFundMe that we're gonna start soon. But I mean, we're gonna publicize that soon. But
We got your back,
I know
man. You know,
I guess I can put my, I don't know. I feel weird asking for money, but like,
it's not I get it. It's a pride thing. It's a I can understand that, but you also got to
uh,
understand that
I
you got a
do
lot of people around the world that would
I
love to
do
support you too.
yeah, I do want to make a pledge that whatever money is given to me, I am gonna actually, like, when I come out of this, I'm gonna match that money with events that I'm gonna organize in charity, that I'm gonna go and I'm gonna support people that are going through this stuff like myself. So I'm definitely gonna dedicate something to something that I'm going through, this type of cancer especially,
Is it
which is, I get to say it, right? It's colorectal. I'm just gonna be upfront about it, and and I'm gonna be we started the treatments here, and I'm trying to get as soon as we can, like physically, and got to get the paperwork in order and all the insurance stuff. But I'm transferring, to New York. I gotta go back to New York, where my home is, and where all my
yeah
support system, like, more so, even though I have good
yeah
support here now, good community.
what
But New York's home for me, and we're going to Sloan and Kettering.
what kind of time frame is that looking like, Mika?
Well, I'm hoping that, after the next chemo treatment, um, as soon as I'm like ready to travel, and I'm not immunocompromised, because there is that thing that once you're doing chemo, you're like, just your immunity is low, so you got to be careful of public spaces, and airplane could be a little bit of
Oh, because you'd be more susceptible to getting sick.
yeah, it could be a health hazard. So I definitely have to protect myself, and then
Right.
I'll make sure that I'm ready to travel, but as soon as I can, I'm going to New York, and I'm going to be treated. We're already lined up a hospital. We have, um, some doctors lined up at the Sloan and Kettering, which is a world famous cancer research hospital, maybe probably the best in the world. So that's the kind of a near future short term goal, other than you know um,
Make
you
it
know
turning stone.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah, I
man.
told Mike Suglin, and he was very sympathetic, and
Yeah.
he's gone through some health issues and himself, and we had a kind of a heart to heart talk about these things, and I had to you know I had to withdraw, and of course he understands. And
Yeah.
but I'll be watching. I'll be watching Turning Stone. And the good thing and a good sign about what everything that I'm going through still is that I between treatments or the IV, the first, when they inject it and I get the infusion pump, I get to go home, which is, that is a good sign, because if I was hospitalized, that it's a different story.
Right.
So it's, we've contained it. Hopefully now we've stopped any of the growth, and then would turn this ship around, and then slowly we're trying to the chemo. The idea with the chemo, in my case, that we're trying to shrink this thing because we can't operate it yet. It's too it's too big.
But you got the world of the pool community behind you, willing you and wishing you, and giving you their positive spirit and positive energy, and you know you make sure and get your ass up off the bed every morning,
Oh yeah,
and don't and but don't overdo it also, Mika. You got to
yeah.
make sure
Try not to
you got to
do.
find that balance.
I gotta I gotta take it easy with the jumping jacks and the some of this
Yeah.
other stuff that I usually like doing. But we're trying to take walks, and the calorie. I gotta up the calorie intake. And anyway,
What's your
I
perspective on
I,
life right now, Mika? Is
I
you, like you?
appreciate I appreciate you too, and I appreciate this platform that I can speak out. And I know that you've been working hard, uh, and
Look, to
kudos
be
to
honest
you.
with you, had I known all this was like had I known, I guess the chemo was just recently and all the struggles, I probably wouldn't have asked, because now I kind of feel like a jackass for asking, But listen, you got a lot of fans who root for
There's
you,
no
and
wrong or right time to do this, Mike.
right, of
It's just
course, yeah,
I
yeah,
think this was a good day.
I
I feel
agree,
pretty good today.
yeah. Well, I mean, listen, we're always going to be welcome to have you on for whatever. There's a number. You've been in the sport for decades, Mika. So there's always something
Yeah,
that we can talk about. And the part that
yeah.
just blows me away even more is just hearing all these stories, how you're busting up Wukun Lin in the Japan Open, and then you're you're making it to a semifinal of a following tournament. It really just epitomizes who you are, the fighter you are, the inspiration you are. And whatever we can do, whether emotionally or financially, or helping spread the word or whatever, the answer is always going to be yes, and we're always going to do whatever we can for that. Joey's a cancer survivor, and he wanted to be on there as well, but his work schedule wouldn't allow it. But he says, if you need anything, you can always reach out to him as well, and he'll be glad to, talk with you or whatever, man. And the same goes for me. I'm a
I
fan
appreciate
of
it.
yours, Mika, but I admire and respect you more than I've ever been a fan, because this is like this is something else, and you're something else to handle it the way you are,
I
and we know you're going to get through it.
I know. I like what you said in one of your I noticed that you made a post, and then you said I'm like always unapologetically myself, and
Yeah,
that's truly something
yeah.
that I take pride in. And I don't I don't I don't kiss anybody's ass, and
No, and I
I'm
wouldn't
not
have it any other
get this
way.
side. And
Yeah,
I'm kind of a little bit of a I've always been a little bit of a rebel in this industry, but
yeah.
you take it or leave it, and then there's you know what you see is what you get, and I'm always
And
gonna be
I love that about you, but don't ever fucking change for anybody in the world, Mika. Don't ever
no
change, you know. And it's funny because I was sifting through some pictures of trying to find to make a flyer for the podcast. And when I seen that Derby one on your profile, I said, "That's Mika. Like, he's the pool player, ready to go play pool." And
yeah
that's how we always know you and see you. And now we're getting to see a different side of you, which takes bravery in its own right. And um, you know,
yeah.
I
Anyway, I wanna like I'm not sure if I can hang out here whatever as long as you
well,
want, but
I
um
just wanted to ask you, Mika, where you mentioned, like, when you were playing, you kind of uh, you were having to slow down, but what's your just mindset in general, like as you're looking at life and kind of reflecting and how you see the future going, and has it
Uh,
changed in any way?
I you know, taking away from what I was going through those the last couple tournaments. I know it sounds like a cliche, but if you know, when I come back, I am going to be stronger because I'm just going to mentally be like
Yeah,
unreal, because
unstoppable. Yeah, yeah,
unstoppable. And you
yeah,
know, like going through this is like the ultimate test of character, and physically and mentally. So
yeah.
again, so much respect for people that have gone through this or are going through this now. And I feel all my cancer brothers and sisters out there, you know. So, and I'm gonna come back,
We
and I'm
know.
gonna be formidable, and just
Oh,
watch out. I know it's gonna, like, first, because now that I'm gonna be out of the scene, I'm gonna be, you know, dropping in the rankings and all that stuff. But hopefully when I come back and get a few wild cards in some tournaments, and I just want to get back and back in the scene and start playing again. And I've never, reminds me of like the desire that I had when I was in like my 20s, and I wanted to go play pool, and I was like home, you know, after like a long day, and like I couldn't wait till the next day. Like I just want to go back and play pool again. I just, you know, and sometimes going from home to the pool room, you know, I couldn't even walk because why walk when you can run?
yeah, yeah. That's Mika Immonen. That's you. You know, I love that about you, man. You know, and listen, we can't wait to see you go back and compete. We know who you are. We know your resume, and we know what you're still doing right now. But we need you to get better. We need you to keep fighting.
Yeah,
We need you to keep pushing forward. You
yeah,
know, stay as optimistic as you can. You got the world of a community behind you and supporting you.
yeah,
And if you want to say anything to anyone,
yeah.
whether it's your family, your friends, or
Oh yeah, I
um,
wanted to grab some of these. I got like so many cards from my friends.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
let's see them.
uh, wait, hold on, give me a few seconds.
No, you take your time. I wanna. I see this phrase in here, and I'm assuming it's a Finnish phrase, but I want to ask you what Sisu means. Maybe I'm butchering it, but um, anyhow, thanks everybody for hanging out with us this afternoon. Um, I don't know where Mika gets the courage to come on and have this conversation. I don't really know what to expect with it, and but the dude's just a freaking legend, man. Just an absolute legend. So
So I just want
look
to
at that.
like show some.
That's
I
pretty
got some
awesome, man.
birthday cards. This is like, you know, it's like
Yeah.
full this thing, but like
Yeah.
it's cool.
I love
Oh,
that.
and I got all these cards from my friends from New York, and you know, some of them not from New York. And May went to visit like this
That's
past week,
amazing.
and I got all this love from my friends.
What does it mean to see all that people taking their time to not just wish you well, but do stuff
This
like
is a
that for
really
you?
cool one. Like, this is from my buddy Chris. Uh, remember, aging is mandatory, but maturing is optional.
That's pretty fitting, Mika. That's pretty fitting, my man.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's gonna, like, you know, some could disagree, but
Yeah.
that's gonna be like, you know,
Yeah.
my motto going forward. But I just love that I got all this, you know, encouragement online, and this
Yeah.
is like, you know, physically it's gonna make a nice a board with all those cards, and then I also want to like my shadow type crew here. This is a thing that we've got at this click. It's called shadow type, but it's basically something that's you know, well, it's a metaphor. So when you rack the balls and then you check, you know, that to see if there's any gaps,
Yeah.
and if you put your hand over it, then you check with the shade, and if it's
I
tight,
can see you. I can see you at the turning stone
it's
doing that right now, Mika. That's
it's shadow tight.
yeah.
So when you have this click with your friends, and then when it's like seamless and there's no like,
Yeah.
you know, there's no
It's one.
weak
It's
links,
one. Yeah.
It's just one, and it's shadow type. So that's our thing. And I had some jackets made for my friends, and some really cool stuff. But I also want to take the opportunity to thank my sponsors, Mez Exceed and Town, and
Yeah.
just all the people back home in
Yeah.
Finland and in the States and abroad, and like all my fans. I just love you so much, and my family, and
What
just so thankful.
I wanted to ask you. I seen Sisu on some of these all over the online and here in the chat. Explain it to for those who don't know what that means, Mika.
Wait, I wanted to show this one too. This is really cool.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, I love that.
All you need is love. Like this is like a Beatles theme,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you know,
That's real thoughtful,
it-
man. I'm a
it's
big
really
Beatles
cool.
fan.
I know
Yeah,
they were like that was my first like
yeah.
favorite band ever, and it always will be.
You got good
So what
taste,
were you
buddy.
saying? Sorry.
I was asking about Sisu, or maybe I'm pronouncing it
Sisu.
wrong, but
Yeah, this is a
yeah,
really it's an important word in Finnish for Finns and in Finnish culture, and it is a word that encapsulates so many things, but it's like just this um, it is this just like sheer will and determination and never giving up, and that's and it's something that helped us during the Second World War, when we had to defend ourselves in the Winter War, especially against the Russians. They were coming with like they were coming with like so much manpower that that we basically, it's a small country, had to defend ourselves, just kind of like, I mean, I don't want to get political, but like,
yeah,
there are some countries going through similar things now, but we had the Sisu, and I have to thank my forefathers for having that, and otherwise I wouldn't be where I am, wouldn't have the same opportunities. So
yeah.
Sisu is a big word, and it's I love it. And I like when I made that my initial post, there were some uh, some quotes that were basically explaining what it means. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, I just encourage people to go to my page and then look at some of those links, and you can see the meaning of Sisu. But I also
Yeah.
do encourage you to watch the movie if you haven't seen it.
What's the
It is
movie?
it's epic. It's called Sisu.
Is it?
I'm gonna send you the link. I'm gonna send you the you have to check it out. You'll watch.
I'll
You'll love
gladly.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a war movie. It's a bit graphic. It's a bit there's violence, but
It's
it's
all right. I'm
about
a big boy. I'll be all right.
it is this one man's quest. Like, he's just minding his own business, and he's actually mining gold in Lapland, and it's at the end of the um, towards the end of the Second World War, and the Nazis are leaving Lapland, and they're burning everything on their way out. They're burning all the towns and villages, and then they stumble upon this guy, and he has gold. So they're trying to steal it. Well, they did steal it, but not without consequence. And this guy goes on a rampage, and
I
he's
love
this
it.
like famous guy that was a retired, a military like famous guy that was just like the Russians feared him because he had a reputation of, I forgot what his nickname was, but they feared him. Like, they called him immortal. And
Yeah.
then you have to watch it. I don't want to
I'll
spoil
gladly go
alert.
check it out. Sean Damani says it's on Netflix, so I'm gonna go search it up.
I think it's on Hulu, but yeah, you can definitely watch it online. Highly recommend it. Um, it's something also symbolizes the fight that I'm going through,
Yeah.
and not giving up.
Well, listen, don't ever fucking give up. You keep on fighting, buddy, because we all can't wait to see you compete, and we can't wait to see you and give you a hug and tell you how proud of you we are, and we are already. And we can't wait to see you back out on the major stage, Mika. But in the meantime, you got to take it. No, thank you,
for
man.
that.
No, it's listen, you've been a fighter your whole life, and I've seen you go and compete in pool and been who you are, and you were never one to be who somebody wanted you to be. And that was part of why I always just admired you and respected you even more. And to have the courage to come on here and tell your story when it's not easy, um, it's a whole other level, man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
You got anything else, Mika, before we get out of here? We'll let you go and won't bother you too much longer.
Uh, no, I think I'm good. I gotta go. I gotta go eat.
Wait,
Well,
then
I just thank
in
you
that
for the
case,
opportunity again,
yeah.
and yeah, just we'll be posting about the GoFundMe soon, and hopefully any help that I will be getting. Like I said, I pledge to also contribute the similar effort to fundraising in when I'm back in action.
As soon as you post it, we'll make sure and get the word out as well, Mika. So you get your ass to
Thank,
that dinner table, go eat, go spend time with your family, get some exercise, get some rest, and we look
thank
forward
you.
to talking with you very
All right.
soon, man.